Veterans Village of San Diego serves struggling veterans with transitional and permanent housing, mental health and substance abuse counseling, employment training, and more. But in recent years, it seems the organization is struggling itself to live up to that mission. Joining me on the floor today is reporter Jill Castellano from Inewsource, a San Diego nonprofit dedicated to great investigative journalism. Jill, thanks as always for joining us. It's been a while. We're glad to have you in the studio finally. For our viewers who aren't familiar, what is Veterans Village of San Diego and what is their mission?
Yeah, Veterans Village of San Diego is this renowned nonprofit. They're probably best known for creating Stand Down, which is this annual event every year to help homeless veterans, 3 days to connect them to housing and public services. And that's actually been replicated in hundreds of cities and praised by dignitaries and presidents. This is a nonprofit with a long and storied history that people truly admire. They also operate a drug and alcohol rehab program. It's really their flagship program on Pacific Highway, which is a campus for primarily veterans who are looking for substance abuse treatment.
So your story details how it's gone from an award-winning facility, really a model for many around the nation, to one with some extensive problems right now. What did your investigation uncover, and how long were you working on this?
It's been months that I've been working on this project, and I, over that time, spoke with dozens, actually over 40 people who've lived or worked at Veterans Village. And they do say they love the organization, but ultimately they're very concerned primarily about drug use inside the treatment center. And they say that's posing a lot of risks to the residents who are struggling with their sobriety in the face of this drug use inside the program.
I can only imagine how difficult it is for people trying to work a program, but being around people who aren't following that, or worse, maybe offering them substances that they don't need to be exposed to. So do we have any idea at this point why it's taken this turn? Has this been a slow erosion of the facility, or has there been some kind of trigger here?
It's happened over the past few years, and it kind of depends who you talk to. The residents and staff that I spoke with said there's been a push by leadership in the past few years to fill beds, and that's eroded the quality of care over time and led to staff feeling like it's not committed to the mission anymore and resigning from the organization. We know there's been a lot of turnover, and they say that the staffing shortage has been a big problem and left the facility unprepared to really monitor the campus and monitor for drugs and alcohol. Now, I also spoke with the CEO of Veterans Village, and she said the organization is doing great work, and despite that staffing shortage, they're still providing high quality care.
If we could, why would there be a push to fill beds? Is it because of their funding mechanism, how they get paid from the government?
Well, it's not totally clear, and it does depend who you talk to,
okay.
But Akila Templeton, the CEO, said actually filling beds is a great thing because it means that there's fewer veterans on our streets and there's more room for them in a program like ours to get homeless people off the streets.
All these problems have led to investigations and complaints. Where are we in kind of the legal framework of these problems right now?
Yeah, so there have been 6 complaints filed with the Department of Healthcare Services, which are under review right now. That's the department that handles the treatment license for the facility. And there's some other ongoing things as well. There's a DEA investigation into a suspected fentanyl overdose death that occurred on the campus. And the probation department shortly after that took a very unusual step to actually pull its clients out of that program and cut off referrals because they say it's in the best interest of the clients.
There's a lot going on. I haven't had a chance to talk to you about this before, but can we expect any action as a result of your investigation? How is the Veterans Village responding to this story?
Well, one of their responses has actually been to fire one of the employees who spoke out in the investigation about concerns in the program. So she's very upset to be leaving the organization, and they stand by the work that they do, absolutely. There's some other ongoing developments. We'll see what happens with the open complaints with the Department of Healthcare Services. They said that if they were to find deficiencies, they could take steps like working to develop a corrective action plan with Veterans Village, or even suspending or revoking their license.
And I assume we can count on Inewsource to follow up on what happens at Veterans Village.
Absolutely.
Jill Castellano, thank you so much for your time and for joining us here on The Forward today. I want to remind our viewers, it's inewsource.org. They have a wealth of incredible investigative stories here in San Diego. It is a San Diego nonprofit. It started here. Check them out, look at their work, and maybe consider making a donation.